All right, that's going. This is going. I've got a 5-minute timer. We're on a micro brew. Here's what's up. I was going to stream today's brew and just stream it live because that seems like the way forward so that I don't have to edit and render these things. And I can't. I can't because I went and I clicked the go live button on YouTube and it goes, cool, you've requested live streaming privileges. We'll give them to you in 24 hours. Fuck! So the first live streamed brew is going to be tomorrow. Today, we're just going to do a micro brew because, god damn it, I've been fucked the last few days, and I really need to record some Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and I'd really like to, and probably it's exactly what I need in order to jump off of and talk about some of the things that I need to talk about, because it's fucked. It's Friday. Fucking hell, happy Friday. If you can't tell, I'm rather incensed. I've been having a very difficult conversation in my Discord because the last 2 brews that I put up, I talk a lot about like sex work and OnlyFans and stuff, and man, people are really defensive about that. And some of it's fair and some of it's not. And there's been a gross amount of misinterpretation of my wording that seems, I don't know, man. Some of these people are trying to argue in good faith and not doing a very good job, and I wish that they were doing better. So I'm a little bit incensed, and I apologize for that. I'm gonna go take a cold shower before I get to Cyberpunk, and I'll probably calm out a little bit and be a little bit better. I'm also a little bit incensed because, well, I said in the last episode, in the last video of the brew, that I was going to go a little bit deeper into the whole dating market thing, and I've gone a little bit deeper, and it's dark in here, man. It's not nice. It's not nice. There's something going on, and it feels really wrong. And I'm sacrificing some of my sanity to get there, and I have to step away from it. Like in 2 days, it feels like I've been sucked into insanity in like 2 days. I've been seriously lied to and genuinely betrayed multiple times over the last 2 days by human beings, not robots, by human beings with their own interests at heart, who are trying to use me and use themselves and exploit themselves for financial gain. And I keep seeing women who are making posts constantly about how depressed and sad they are that they're still single. And then as soon as I try to approach them or make any sort of interaction, all they do is try to transactionalize themselves and ask and require money for their time. And I don't care. Money is like nothing. It's fine, okay? And I don't mind sex work in general, but man, this disconnect between seeking and seeming really desperate for affection and real attention, and then not doing the things that seek it, and actively hurting your own ability to seek it in the future for forever. It's so deeply sad. It's so deeply sad. And I mean, really, I've been talking to a few of these girls, and I feel so bad for them, and they're not doing okay, and there are people who will say no, they're doing great and they're empowered and this is all good stuff, man. And it's like, well, maybe compared to prostitution and pimping for sure, but this isn't it. This is not it. There's something wrong. And I come at this from a place of ignorance. I don't know enough to say the things that I'm saying even. But yesterday, I found because of one of these girls who expressed a desire to have a relationship and has talked to me for hours, like back and forth, really invested. And she's so scared that someone like me is just going to dismiss her because of her work. And so I did everything that I could to not dismiss her because of her work, and to talk to her about it and to be open about it. Everything that I possibly could. And she had me go to a campsite, and I went through a bunch of the cams. And there are hundreds of women sitting in empty chat rooms waiting for men to come and shower them with money. Waiting, with vibrators in, with clothes on, sitting on their beds, doing nothing for hours and hours. And a man pops in and goes, I'm going to keep going. And a man pops in. or a person, and an inarticulate data stream pops in and goes, "Sup, bitch, nice ass, show me that titty." Drops 5 Chuck E. Cheese tokens on the girl. And that's the life that a lot of these people are leading. By their own consent, for their own reasons. And it doesn't seem very empowering. And so I question it. And I can't even question it effectively, because I can't get close enough to understand it without it destroying me. I'm getting torn up. And I'm a pretty strong person. Like, I was aware of all of these things when I went in, and I'm pretty capable of dealing with these things to some extent. And I've dealt with betrayal and lies before, in a way that should make me resilient to them, and it's still tearing me up, man. So what's happening to the people who don't understand what's going on at all? What's happening to the people who are just desperate for love? What's happening to the young men and women who are out there seeking something real? Because they seem to not be having a good time either. And I don't know the answers to these questions, but I have to ask them. Because this seems to be the way that the world is heading. Fuck. I'm sorry to be so emotional about this, but very truly, this has broken me down, man. In a couple of days. And what happened wasn't that I was unsuccessful. What happened is that I made changes to my dating app profiles that made them successful. That's what's going on here. Is that I achieved the desired promised land, the holy grail, the ability to get fucking right swipes on Tinder. I achieved the great unknown. And it might be the worst thing that could have possibly ever happened to me. Because it feels really bad. Because the spike of hope into absolute despair when you realize that the person doesn't care about you and isn't looking for anything, any kind of connection, and just sees you as a source of funding. God, that is brutal. And I think that the thousands of young men, millions of young men, billions of young men who are on these dating sites, and young women who are on these dating sites, are getting destroyed by that circumstance. I mean, really torn up. And there's no stopping it. There's no changing it. And maybe there shouldn't be. And maybe it is good. And maybe this is all growing pains. And maybe I just am an ignorant fool. And I'll say this again to frame it as devil's advocate. Maybe I'm just a Puritan Christian asshole and a patriarch who doesn't want to let women be free. The opposite of who I actually am. Maybe I'm all unconscious bias, the opposite of who I am, because all I'm trying to do is examine my own biases in relation to all the things in the world. But maybe that's what it is. Maybe I just suck, you know? Maybe I just fucking suck, and the problem is me, and everybody who's doing this and has, you know, one of the girls that I was talking to has hundreds of Instagram posts, and every single one of them is like a picture of her face with way too much makeup on, and then a text that's like, "I choose to be single, and I have to force myself to be happy. I guess I'm going to be single forever. Wow, no men really want to accept a real woman." It's like, well, maybe. But maybe she's going to remain in that place for way too long. Maybe she's going to be hurt forever. And that's the problem, is that I can't help but empathize with these people. I can't just use them. I can't just use them, even if they want to be used themselves. Even if they're asking for it. Even if they're demanding it and requesting it, I can't do it. They're people. They're people. They're whole people. They're not just images. They're not just tits and ass. They're people. And they're starting to see themselves as not anything but tits and ass. I think human connection and romantic relationships might be really important, like necessary. And I think it's becoming so much more difficult than it should or could be to find them. And it terrifies me. It really deeply terrifies me. And it makes me so sad. Okay, I'm way past my timer. I had to express this. I'm sorry for the emotionalness. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to think. I'm just trying to understand. I would just like to spread a little bit of peace into the world. So peace, and I mean it.